Another Monday, another episode of JoeLumb's album review. Greetings, everyone. I am JoeLumb. Over the last 2 weeks, I've covered Aerosmith's Permanent Vacation and Pump, two of the most successful albums of the 1980s for them. But today, I cover Aerosmith's first record of the 90s and its 1993's Get a Grip. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Feel free. While you're at it, check out my album review playlist. It's in the description box below. And now, on with the video. In the early 90s, hair metal or pop metal or glam metal, whatever you like to call it, was fading as grunge was becoming a thing. After riding a wave of momentum with albums like Permanent Vacation and Pump, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Brad Whitford, Tom Hamilton, and Joey Kramer, all 5 members of Aerosmith, spent the latter half of 1991 and the majority of 1992 creating their next album. Once again, they had producer Bruce Fairbairn at the helm, along with huge collaborators of songs outside the group like Desmond Child, Mark Hudson, Richie Supa, Taylor Rhodes, and then Damn Yankees members Jack Blades and Tommy Shaw. Aerosmith spent time rehearsing the new material at A&M Studios in Los Angeles before heading to Vancouver with producer Bruce Fairbairn to record at his Little Mountain Sound studio. The record had originally 12 songs and it was set for a third quarter of 1992 release, but Geffen A&R man John Callender, who listened to what was recorded, though it lacked variety and a radio-friendly tune. So the band went back to write more songs in collaboration with collaborators such as Desmond Child. Many of the songs were written and recorded for what would be called Get a Grip, were either used as B-sides or never released. Songs like Don't Stop and Head First were used as B-sides, as well as Can't Stop Messin', which also appeared on special editions on the album, along as an addition to a track list. There were alternate versions of other songs that were recorded during the sessions, like Deuces Are Wild, which appeared on a Beavis and Butthead Experience compilation in late 1993. Lizard Love was featured in the 2003 Nickelodeon animated movie Rugrats Go Wild. Devil's Got a New Disguise, which was the name of Aerosmith's Best Of compilation released in 2006, and Legendary Child would be featured on an Aerosmith album 19 years later. The album was called Music from Another Dimension. The cover art for Aerosmith's Get a Grip is depicting an image of a cow with a captive bead nipple ring through its udder, and the brand of the Aerosmith logo was designed by noted album cover artist Hugh Syme. Music critic Steve Hyden has referred the album's cover art as the worst album cover ever, expressing surprise that Syme was responsible for it given its other work. An animal rights group objected to the cover art, but the band confirmed the image had been digitally altered and did not depict an actual act of animal cruelty. I am now looking at the track listing for Get a Grip on the American version, the original American version. The intro, Eat the Rich, and the title track, Get a Grip, were all written by Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and Jim Vallance. The intro clocks in at 24 seconds, Eat the Rich clocks in at 4:11, and Get a Grip clocks in at 3:59. The fourth track, Fever, written by Steven and Joe, clocks in at 4:15. Living on the Edge, written by Steven, Joe, and Mark Hudson, clocks in at 6:07. Flesh, written by Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and Desmond Child, clocks in at 5:57. Walk On Down, written by Joe Perry himself, clocks in at 3:39. Shut Up and Dance, written by Steven, Joe, Jack Blades, and Tommy Shaw, clocks in at 4:56. Crying, written by Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and Taylor Rhodes, clocks in at 5:09. Gotta Love It, written by Steven, Joe, and Mark Hudson, clocks in at 5:58. Crazy, another one of their hit singles, clocks in at 5:14, written by Steven, Joe, and Desmond Child. Line Up, written by Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and Lenny Kravitz, clocks in at 4:03. Amazing clocks in at 5:57, written by Steven Tyler and Richie Supa. and an instrumental called Boogeyman, written by Stephen, Joe, and Jim Valance, clocks in at 2:17. In the international and limited editions, Can't Stop Messin', written by Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Jack Blades, and Tommy Shaw, clocks in at 3:30. Immediately after Amazing, a snippet of Who Threw the Whiskey in the Well by Lucky Millinder is heard as if being tuned in and on an old radio. Steven Tyler says, "So from all of us at Aerosmith to all of you out there, wherever you are, remember, the light at the end of the tunnel may be you. Good night." Then the music fades out. This was Aerosmith's 11th studio album. Get a Grip was released on April 20th, 1993. It would be the last studio effort for Geffen Records before they would return to Columbia Records in 1997 for 9 Lives. Get a Grip became Aerosmith's best-selling studio release globally, achieving sales of 20 million albums worldwide. As of this recording, it was like 22.5 million sold all over the world. While in the US it achieved 7 times platinum status, this and Pump are tied for second best selling Aerosmith studio album in America behind Toys in the Attic. Get a Grip is also Aerosmith's first #1 album on the Billboard 200. 2 of their songs, Living on the Edge and Crazy, were Grammy Award winners for Best Rock Performance by a Duo or a Group with a Vocal. My overall rating for Get a Grip is a 90 out of 100. This album, I forgot to mention, featured backing vocals from Don Henley on the song Amazing, and Lenny Kravitz providing backing vocals for Lineup. All 5 singles were standout tracks, and this is one song, Shut Up and Dance, is criminally underrated. This is the last Aerosmith album I review for some time. I hope to review more Aerosmith albums in the future. So let me know what you think about Get a Grip in the comments section. This has been JoeLumb's album review.
No.